What if I told you that the smallest, most overlooked habits could completely transform your life? Not the big, flashy changes everyone talks about, but the quiet, consistent ones that fly under the radar. Habits so subtle, you might not even notice their impact until one day you wake up and realize your life is completely different. Stick around because today we're diving into 8 lesser-known habits that will slowly but surely change everything. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why the little things aren't so little after all. Let's be real for a second. Life can feel overwhelming. Between work, relationships, and the constant noise of the world, it's easy to feel like you're just trying to keep your head above water. But what if the key to a better life wasn't about doing more, but about doing less? Just more intentionally. That's where these habits come in. They're not about overnight success or quick fixes. They're about small, deliberate actions that compound over time, reshaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately, your life. So, let's get into it. Here's the thing. Most of us are looking for big, dramatic changes to solve our problems. We want the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. But the truth is, life doesn't work that way. Real change happens in the small, quiet moments. The decisions we make when no one's watching, the habits we build day by day. The problem? We often overlook these habits because they don't seem important in the moment, but over time they add up. And that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Habit 1, the 5-minute morning pause. Let's talk about mornings. Most of us wake up and immediately reach for our phones, emails, messages, social media. It's like we're jumping into a storm before we've even opened our eyes. But what if you did something different? What if, instead of diving into the chaos, you took just 5 minutes to sit? No phone, no distractions, no noise, just you and your thoughts. This isn't about meditation or some complicated routine. It's about creating a small space of calm before the day begins. Think of it as setting the tone for everything that comes after. When you start your day with intention, you're less likely to spend the rest of it reacting to whatever comes your way. Here's why this works. Life is busy. It's loud. It's full of demands and distractions. But those first few minutes of the day, they're yours. They're quiet. They're a chance to breathe, to think, to just be. And when you take that time, something interesting happens. You start your day with clarity. You start it with focus. You start it on your terms. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5 minutes? That's it? How can something so small make a difference? But here's the thing. Small actions, when done consistently, add up. Over time, this habit will help you approach your day with more intention. It'll help you stay grounded, even when things get crazy. And most importantly, it'll remind you that you're in control of how you start your day, and by extension, how you live your life. So, tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you dive into your to-do list, take 5 minutes to just sit. No distractions, no noise, just you and your thoughts. It's a small habit, but it's a powerful one. And over time, it'll change the way you approach your day, your work, and your life. Habit 2, the evening reflection. Now, let's talk about evenings. At the end of the day, most of us just want to zone out. We're tired. We're drained. The last thing we want to do is think about the day we just had. But here's a habit that can make a huge difference. Take 5 minutes to reflect. This isn't about overanalyzing or beating yourself up. It's about learning. It's about growth. It's about taking a few minutes to ask yourself 3 simple questions. What went well today? What didn't? What could I do differently tomorrow? Here's why this matters. Life moves fast. Days blur together. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been on autopilot for weeks, months, even years. But when you take a few minutes each evening to reflect, you break that cycle. You create a space to learn from your experiences. You start to see patterns, what's working, what's not, and what you can do to improve. Over time, this habit will help you make better decisions. It'll help you live more intentionally. And most importantly, it'll remind you that every day is a chance to grow, to learn, to do better. So tonight, before you zone out, take 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself those 3 questions. What went well? What didn't? What could I do differently tomorrow? It's a small habit, but it's a powerful one. And over time, it'll change the way you approach your days, your decisions, and your life. Habit 3. The one question. Filter life is full of choices. Every day we face decisions that demand our time, energy, and focus. Some opportunities seem exciting, some feel urgent, and some come with pressure from others. But before you say yes to anything, there's one powerful question you should ask yourself. Is this moving me closer to where I want to be? This one question changes everything. It creates clarity. It eliminates distraction. It keeps you on the right path. Most people say yes too often. They agree to things out of guilt, obligation, or fear of missing out. They get pulled in too many directions, and in the process, they lose sight of what truly matters. You have a vision for your life. You have goals, dreams, and priorities. But every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. Time is limited. Energy is finite. You can't afford to waste them on things that don't serve your purpose. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. Maybe your schedule was packed. Maybe your to-do list felt never-ending. How much of that stress came from commitments that weren't truly important to you? How much of it could have been avoided with this one question filter? Saying no is not selfish. It's strategic. It's about protecting your focus. It's about making space for what matters most. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who do the right things consistently. When you apply the one question filter, you regain control. You stop wasting time on unnecessary tasks. You stop saying yes out of habit. You start making choices that align with your vision. You start creating a life that excites you. This habit takes practice. It's easy to default to saying yes. It's easy to feel pressured. But the more you use this filter, the stronger it becomes. The more you say no to distractions, the more time you have for what truly matters. Imagine a life where every decision moves you forward, where your calendar reflects your priorities, where your energy is spent on things that bring real results. That life is possible. It starts with one question. Is this moving me closer to where I want to be? If the answer is no, say no. If the answer is yes, go all in. Habit 4, the daily learning ritual. Growth is not automatic. It doesn't just happen with time, it happens with intention. If you want to improve, you have to learn. But learning doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't require hours of study. It doesn't mean reading book after book without action. It's simple. Learn one new thing every day, just one thing. A fact, a quote, a lesson from experience, a small insight from a conversation. It doesn't matter where it comes from. What matters is consistency. Small lessons, learned daily, create massive growth over time. Think about the power of compound interest. A little money, invested regularly, grows into something significant. Knowledge works the same way. One idea today, another tomorrow. Over weeks, months, years, it adds up. Before you know it, you have an incredible depth of understanding. You see connections others miss. You make smarter decisions. You solve problems faster. Most people stop learning after school. They settle into routines. They rely on what they already know, and over time, they fall behind. The world changes. New ideas emerge, but they stay the same. They wonder why they feel stuck, why nothing improves. The answer is simple. They stopped growing. If you want an extraordinary life, you have to keep learning. Every day, no excuses. The good news? It doesn't have to be difficult. You can learn from anything. A conversation, a challenge, a mistake. A book, a podcast, even a moment of reflection at the end of the day. Start small. Make it a habit. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? Write it down, think about it, apply it. The key is not just to collect knowledge, it's to use it. An idea is only valuable if you act on it. Knowledge is power, but only when applied. The most successful people in the world never stop learning. They seek wisdom, they embrace new ideas, they reflect on their experiences. They take every opportunity to grow. You have that same opportunity, every day. One lesson at a time. Imagine where you could be in a year. 365 lessons, 365 new insights, 365 chances to grow. Now imagine 5 years, 10 years. The impact is massive. Success is not one big moment. It's the result of daily habits, and learning is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Commit to learning, just one thing a day. It will change your life. Habit 5, the gratitude pause gratitude. We hear about it all the time. It sounds simple, maybe even cliché, but don't let that fool you. It's one of the most powerful habits you can develop, and it doesn't take much. Just a moment. One brief pause in your day. That's it. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a stressful day. Deadlines, responsibilities, the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's easy to get lost in the chaos, easy to focus on what's going wrong. But what if, just for a moment, you shifted your focus? What if you stopped and thought about one thing, just one, that you're grateful for? It doesn't have to be big. You don't need to wait for life-changing moments. A hot cup of coffee in the morning, the smile of a loved one, a song that lifts your spirits, even the simple fact that you woke up today. That's enough. Here's why this habit matters. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, grows. If you plant seeds of frustration, stress, and negativity, that's what will thrive. But if you plant gratitude, even in the smallest way, it shifts everything. Over time, it changes the way you see the world. Problems don't disappear, but your perspective changes, and that makes all the difference. At first, it might feel unnatural. You might forget. That's okay. Set a reminder, maybe when you wake up, maybe before you go to bed, or when you take a break at work. Pause, reflect, find one thing, then let yourself feel it. The best part? Gratitude is contagious. When you start noticing the good, you naturally share it. A kind word, a moment of appreciation, and that energy spreads. It lifts not only you, but those around you, so try it. Just once a day. The gratitude pause. It's simple, it's powerful, and over time it will transform the way you see your life. Habit 6. The small win celebration. We love big wins, the big promotions, the big milestones, the big achievements. And there's nothing wrong with that. Big goals give us direction. They push us forward. But here's the problem. We get so focused on the destination that we forget to celebrate the journey. Let's talk about small wins, the ones that seem insignificant, the ones most people overlook. These are the real fuel for progress. Because progress isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about moving forward. And every step counts. Think about it. You woke up on time? Win. You completed a task you've been avoiding? Win. You went for a short walk instead of scrolling on your phone? Win. Each of these moments is proof that you're moving in the right direction. And when you acknowledge them, something shifts. You feel motivated. You feel encouraged. You feel like you're making progress, even when the big goal still feels far away. Here's the secret. Success is built on momentum. And momentum comes from recognizing progress. Every time you celebrate a small win, you reinforce the habit of winning. It builds confidence. It creates motivation. It keeps you going when things get tough. So how do you do it? Simple. Take a moment to acknowledge your progress. Maybe you say it out loud. Maybe you write it down. Maybe you give yourself a little reward, a break, a favorite snack, a high five. Whatever works for you. The key is to make it a habit. At first, it might feel silly, maybe even unnecessary, but try it. For 1 week, make it a point to celebrate small wins every day. Notice what happens. You'll feel different. You'll start looking for wins instead of failures. You'll see progress where you used to see struggle. And that change in mindset, that's the difference between those who keep going and those who give up. Remember this. Success isn't one giant leap. It's a series of small steps, and every step forward is worth celebrating. So don't wait for the big moment. Celebrate now. Celebrate often. Because progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Habit 7. The digital detox hour. Let's talk about something important, something that can change your life. We live in a world of noise, a world where screens dominate our time, our thoughts, and our emotions. We wake up and check our phones. We go through the day bouncing from screen to screen. Messages, emails, notifications, they never stop. We are connected but disconnected. Think about the last time you sat in silence. No phone, no TV, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. It's been a while, hasn't it? And that's the problem. We have forgotten how to be alone with ourselves. But here's the solution. The digital detox hour. 1 hour, every day. No screens, no exceptions. At first, it will feel strange. Your hand will reach for your phone. Your mind will search for something to check. But stay with it. Embrace the discomfort, because in that discomfort, something incredible happens. Your mind clears, your stress fades. You remember what it feels like to be present. Now, what do you do with this hour? Anything. Read a book, go for a walk, watch the sunset, have a real conversation. Write down your thoughts, sit in silence. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as it doesn't involve a screen. At first, an hour will feel long, but over time, you will start to crave it. You will look forward to it. And here's the best part. This habit changes more than just your screen time. It changes you. You become more patient, more focused, more aware. You start to notice the small things, the sound of birds, the feel of the wind, the way your mind slows down when you give it space, and something even bigger happens. You break free from the cycle of constant distraction. You see the world is full of noise, full of people vying for your attention. But when you take control, when you choose to step away for just 1 hour, you reclaim something precious. Your peace, your focus, your presence. This is not about avoiding technology. Technology is wonderful. It connects us, informs us, entertains us. But too much of it robs us. It steals our time, our energy, our ability to think deeply. The digital detox hour gives you that back. And here's the key. Make it non-negotiable. Same time every day. No excuses. Treat it like an appointment with yourself. Because it is. And you are worth it. Some days will be easy, others will be hard, but keep going. Because every time you step away from the noise, you step closer to yourself. Try it. 1 hour. No screens. Every day. See what happens. See how it feels. Give yourself the gift of clarity, of presence, of peace. Because in a world that never stops, the greatest power is learning when to pause. Habit 8. The future self. Check in. Here's something to think about. Your future self. The person you're becoming. The life you're building. It doesn't just happen. It's created. Shaped by what you do today. A year from now, where will you be? 5 years? 10? It's a powerful question. One that too many people forget to ask. They get caught up in the day-to-day, the routines, the small distractions. They look up one day and wonder where the years went. But not you. Not if you make this a habit. The habit of checking in with your future self. Once a week, take a few moments. Sit down. Breathe. Think. Picture your life in the future. Not just a vague idea. Make it clear, sharp, detailed. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? What kind of person have you become? Now ask yourself the most important question. What can I do today to make that future a reality? That's it. That's the habit. Simple, powerful, life-changing. See, the future isn't something that just arrives one day. It's something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. The small things you do every day add up. They become habits. They shape your character. They decide your destiny. Most people don't think like this. They drift. They react. They let the years pass without direction, and then they wonder why life didn't turn out the way they hoped. Not you. You're different, because you're checking in every week, looking ahead, making adjustments, staying on course. Think about it. If you got in your car and started driving with no destination, where would you end up? Nowhere special. Probably lost. Maybe somewhere you don't even want to be. But if you know where you're going, you steer, you adjust, you stay on track. Even if you get lost, you find your way back, because you know where you're headed. That's what this habit does. It gives you direction, keeps you on course. So take the time. Ask yourself, what kind of life do you want? What kind of person do you want to become? What does success look like for you? And then, most importantly, what can you do today to move toward it? Maybe it's reading that book you've been putting off. Maybe it's making that phone call. Maybe it's writing down your goals. Maybe it's something small. Maybe it's something big. But whatever it is, do it. Because here's the truth. A year from now, you'll wish you had started today. 5 years from now, you'll look back and see the difference. 10 years from now, you'll thank yourself. But only if you take action. Only if you make this habit a part of your life. So start now. Close your eyes. Picture your future. The life you want. The person you want to be. And then ask yourself, what can I do today to make that future real? Then go do it. Here's the truth. None of these habits are going to change your life overnight. But that's the point. Real change doesn't happen in a day. It happens in the small, consistent actions you take every single day. And the beauty of these habits is that they're simple. They don't require a ton of time or effort. But over time, they add up. They shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately, your life. So, the question is, which one will you start with? To recap, we've covered 8 lesser-known habits that can slowly but surely change your life. The 5-minute morning pause, the evening reflection, the 1-question filter, the daily learning ritual, the gratitude pause, the small win celebration, the digital detox hour, and the future self-check-in. These habits aren't about quick fixes or overnight success. They're about building a foundation for long-term growth and resilience. So, pick one, start small, and watch how it transforms your life over time.